No one knows Ket like me. You'd only need a couple of years on the Ket and your body is deteriorates rapidly. I work with a young girl and she passed away.
From ketamine?
She passed away from a ketamine use. She was only 23 when she died. That was hard. At the time I knew she was dying. You try and put things in place for her, but she had that much trauma that she couldn't stop using. And I was like, this girl's gonna die.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Great in You podcast. My name's Stephen Panter and I'm your host for today. And I've always been your host actually, and today I'm really excited to introduce you to one of our new guests, somebody I've met recently in my kind of line of work, and it's a lady called Jemma Pritchard. So I'm really looking forward to this podcast. Just a reminder as well to if you do like the podcast, to like, subscribe and share. And we want as many subscriptions as possible and subscribers, and we want as many people watching and sharing this podcast so that people can learn. As you know, the whole kind of idea behind the podcast is people that have experienced trauma in their lives. They've been through things that have affected them in their kind of childhood and as kind of young adults. And now as a result of that, they now help others in their line of work. And there's no better example of that really than Jemma Pritchard. So, hi Jemma.
Hi.
And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for coming. It's I know sometimes we've had conversations before the podcast.
Yeah.
And sometimes for people it's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it, to come on and talk about your story.
Yeah.
So hopefully you enjoy today as much as our viewers will. I know they're going to enjoy it because we've had a conversation and it's really interesting stuff. So yeah, we'll get going if that's okay with you.
That's fine, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so obviously the premise of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's about people that have experienced things when they were younger.
Yeah.
I know that you in your line of work now, I can tell people that you are a kind of drugs advisor.
Yeah.
You work in the area of ketamine.
Yes.
But I think it'd be really interesting for people to understand what things were like for you kind of growing up. So kind of where you grew up, what that kind of early childhood was like, what your early schooling was like. And then we'll kind of go on to kind of maybe your adolescence and maybe where things started to go a little bit
chaotic.
Mad for you really, and chaotic, yeah. So where obviously you're from Liverpool.
Yes, so I grew up in Speak with my mum and dad. I've got my brother and my sister as well. And my childhood was, how do I put it? It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. We've got really, really good parents. But I think as we've gotten older, or as I've gotten older and experienced life, it's understanding that, they were the way that they were because of how they've been brought up.
Yeah.
And there was definitely things that happened in my childhood that I should never have witnessed. No child should ever have witnessed that, which still impacts me today,
So tell us about like your family makeup then. So who was in the family? So it was yourself, your mum and dad.
Yeah.
And have you got siblings?
I've got a brother, yeah. And I've got an older sister as well.
So is your brother younger? And so I'm a middle child as well.
Yeah.
yeah. So that has its challenges anyway, doesn't it? So where you grew up, Speak. I know a little bit about Speak. I don't live too far away from there. But what's that area like? What?
I mean, it's okay. All my family still live there now.
Yeah.
I just think there was a lot going on there for my family, which means we'd had to move to start a new life.
Yeah.
To start afresh. There was a lot of things going on that shouldn't have been going on, should we say.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Was that in the community or within your actual family?
Within the
both?
Family.
Oh,
and
okay.
both, yeah.
Both, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your earliest memory then?
It's so hard for me to say this because I don't think that I have an early memory. My memory from childhood is quite poor.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that is down to trauma or if it's down to just having bad memory. But like, it's even things where, sometimes people sit there and you say, oh my God, I'll never forget this Christmas when I had this present.
Yeah.
I don't have none of that memories. Yeah. I just have memories of bad things that I shouldn't have seen, which is not amazing. But early memories would just be like my nan and granddad were my absolute world. So a lot of my memories would be around them.
Yeah.
From my childhood, and even though, you know, the family dynamics at home wasn't amazing, the wider family was unbelievable. Like, I've got such the best family you'd
So
ever.
how many uncles and aunties and cousins?
Oh my God. I've got 2 aunties, an uncle and my dad. And cousins is like
Everyone.
a lot.
Yeah.
And we're all very close. We're so close, like even to this day.
Yeah.
We're like very close knit because we're all quite close in age.
Is it like kind of your typical big Scouse family?
Yes.
You know, I know
parties.
Yeah.
Parties galore.
Yeah. So the central part of that family was kind of your nan and granddad's.
Yes.
And everybody went there, and
Yes.
everybody. And I'm talking like this because I know, you know, obviously my wife's from Halewood, originally in Liverpool.
Okay, yeah.
She's got so many cousins and uncles and aunties, and you know, I've been kind of welcomed into that.
Mm-hmm.
But the central part of that was, you know, obviously a nan and granddad, and she speaks about that all the time.
Yeah.
So is that the same?
That's the same, yeah.
So that's where your good kind of memories come from.
That's where my good memories come from, and I'm very fortunate because the family that I've got are unbelievable, and it's actually insane because a lot of my family work in this line of work.
Right, okay.
Social workers, or we've got counsellors. We're all doing something.
Something good.
Yeah, something good for the community, and
Brilliant.
that's what we love.
Brilliant. So tell me about like where you went to school. What was your school like? Because I think the reason I always ask that question is that it gives you a good indication of kind of, you know, it's your early development, isn't it? Childhood development, you know, kind of from 5, kind of 0 to 5 really, but then 5 upwards.
Yeah.
Do you remember your primary school? Do you remember?
Not really. I think when I was in primary school was the main time of when a lot of things was going on.
Starting to go on, yeah.
So like me memory's just so bad. But with school, all I remember is good times. Like we used to have a caravan in Anglesey. We had a speedboat from the outside looking in. It was amazing.
Looked perfect.
Yeah, it was amazing. And there just wasn't not a lot of love there, I would say.
Yeah. Was that within your
family unit?
Closer family, yeah.
And you know, so them experiences of like, we used to go to a caravan every weekend. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we'd finish school on a Friday, jump straight down there, and we'd be there all weekend till the Sunday night.
And where was that?
In Anglesey.
Anglesey, oh yeah. So obviously Anglesey's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, so these are like my core memories as a child.
Yeah. Do you remember any friendships at primary school? Any friends that you have? Have you still got any of those friends now?
No.
No.
I had friends through primary school who went into high school. And after high school, my friendships went off the rails a little bit, and I was a bit insane. So like from that time now, my friendships have disconnected.
Right, okay. Was that a conscious thing, or?
It's a conscious thing, yeah.
You almost disassociated yourself from some people?
I've had to, yeah. And I think I've changed so much as a person that I can't be with them people anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
So obviously primary school was just, you know, your average kind of primary school. Were you ever in any trouble or anything in school, or did that, obviously you had stuff going on at home, did that ever?
No.
Because some kids act out, don't they, and it affects the behaviour and it affects how they are. And
No. At primary school I was fine.
Yeah.
High school I was okay.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Frodsham High.
Okay.
So that's out of area.
Yeah.
Because by that time we'd moved. But that school's closed down now. So.
And what was that like? Because Frodsham's quite a posh area, isn't it?
Yeah.
I live maybe about 5 miles from Frodsham.
Yeah.
And it is, you know, it's a posh area.
It's a posh area, yeah. But the school was fine. It was.
Did you feel like you fit in?
No.
No.
I don't feel like ever in my life I've ever fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's something where I've always struggled with mental health and anxiety. And I think knowing my purpose and where I fit in and where I feel comfortable is something that I've never really known. So when I was in high school, I was part of like the group which would be called like the Mean Girls.
Right, okay.
So like, you know, a lot of makeup and like long hair, a little bit like I am today.
Right.
But just not as, I was a lot more in your face then. But that just wasn't for me. That was not great. And some of them friendships I still speak to a couple of the girls now. But just the way, you know, I don't know. I've just changed. I've evolved so much, and I think through my whole life, I've always felt lost.
Where do you think that comes from then? That feeling of, because you obviously had your family, didn't you?
Yeah.
I felt the same way but I was adopted and in care and fostered and in an adoption and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I've always felt, so I know what you mean
Yeah.
by, but people wouldn't expect you to feel like that, would you? Coming from, you've got your core family, haven't you?
Yeah.
As you were talking
I don't
about.
think people would. I think a lot of it comes from, I don't know if trauma's got something to do with it. There was like, I want to say this in a way where it's because my mum and dad were not bad parents,
Yeah.
but there was not a lot of love. For instance, if you've done amazing, you wouldn't get told, "Oh my God, you've done amazing." There was no like love yous or kisses,
Yeah.
no hugs, no nothing like that. It's very straight by the book,
Yeah.
which is fine. As I've gotten older, I know now that that's just the way that they are. That's
Yeah.
not anything to do with their love towards me.
So they did, obviously they loved you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Your parents, but it's like they found it difficult to show love and to show
Yeah.
praise.
And they show love by buying me things.
Yeah.
Do you know? But
Yeah.
one thing that I've learned in life, and this is a lesson, I'm a parent now myself, got a son who's 5.
Yeah.
The one lesson that I've learned in life, and I always carry it on through parenting or my job or even just my social life, is the only thing you can ever give someone is time.
Yeah.
It's so precious.
Course.
And I feel like as a child, I never probably had a lot of time that I needed.
Yeah.
So I think like that made me lose direction maybe.
Yeah.
I just didn't really know where. I just didn't really know.
Didn't know who you were and where you belonged, kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Did that come from because you moved, didn't you? Did you move a few times or? Because
Not
sometimes
really.
moving can
Yes,
make you feel a bit-
possibly, yeah, that
Yeah,
could
yeah.
have been it. I don't really know. But still today, to this day, sometimes I feel like, wow, I don't know where. I think it might be self-worth.
Yeah.
Something I've always struggled with.
Yeah.
So even now, like in my job, I go to meetings with like, I don't know, public health.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I'm like, oh my
What
God,
am I doing here? So
how
that's
have I
called
got myself in here?
imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
isn't it?
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I get
terrible
that.
for it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it in a meeting or, like
No.
doing things like this. You wouldn't think it because we're able to
Yeah.
mask it, aren't we? And just,
Yeah.
you put different hats on, don't you? And like, I'm going into this meeting, so I'm going to be like this and I'm going to be...
Yeah, wear
But do you know
hat.
what? Do you know what I've learned as well is that a lot of people have that.
Oh my
The
God.
highest people in some of the highest positions.
Yeah.
I think it's something that everybody has, and especially if you've had a challenging childhood.
Yeah.
I think lots of people have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just something to be aware of, something to acknowledge and do what you need to do. It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, massively.
So tell me, with school then. So did you leave? How did you do at school then? How did you do? Did you get on with the staff and the teachers and stuff?
Yeah,
or-
to be fair, I wasn't naughty in school. I was just like playing up outside the school, probably.
Yeah. So did you do like qualifications and stuff?
Yeah.
How did you get on?
I got all my GCSEs. I didn't get maths because obviously I'm just not very good with numbers. I didn't do amazing,
Yeah.
but I didn't do rubbish.
You did okay.
I done okay.
Yeah.
I left with 13 GCSEs. I never like got suspended or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't think I cared in the end.
Yeah. I didn't leave with anything, not a
No.
single GCSE, no. I got asked to leave before the end of the almost unofficially excluded
Yeah.
because of my behaviour and stuff, but that came from something different. So yeah, I mean, you did well, didn't you? You did well.
I done okay, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know anything about what you maybe wanted to do or
No.
not a
I
clue?
don't think I've ever in my life known that that's what I want to do. I don't think I've ever really had interest in things.
Yeah.
When I left school, I kind of just like went in. I started going out on the party scene when I was 16.
Okay.
That's when you leave school.
Yeah.
So I kind of just got wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
Didn't really care. I ended up doing like textiles.
Right.
And how I got into doing textiles was because my mental health was bad. And sewing
Yeah.
and like using my sewing machine was something
relaxed
that
you.
relaxed me.
Yeah.
And it was really bizarre. But I was just more interested in partying.
So we'll talk about that in a second. Just because you've mentioned it a couple of times while we've been talking. So you mentioned like your mental health. So
Yeah.
how did that kind of show in you as a person? Or maybe was it all internal? Did it you know, how did that present itself, I suppose, is my
I
question.
think internal.
Internal.
I can't, even now, still today, I go up and down quite often.
Yeah.
And that nothing might trigger it. I might just be having a crap day one day. But so mine is, I go into myself, whereas one thing with me is I self-sabotage unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like nothing you would ever
Something's
believe.
going to go wrong. I'm not going to be able to do this. You know, real
Yeah.
negative talk to yourself.
Really, really negative talk towards myself. Yeah.
Maybe that's linked back to like self-worth as well. Isn't it?
I think one of the massive things in my life has always been knowing my self-worth.
Yeah.
And words of affirmation is something that I've probably lacked.
Yeah.
And I'm massive on that.
Yeah.
I think words of affirmation is, oh my God, my son, I'll tell him he's the best footy player in the world, even if he's missed the ball. Can't score a goal, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do, yeah. So I mean, I know you're a little bit younger than me, I think. But I know when I was at school, there wasn't a lot of support around.
No.
People didn't acknowledge mental health as much, did they, back then?
No.
What year did you leave school?
Year 11.
No, I mean, what
year did I leave? 2009, I think.
Yeah, so that was like, that was quite a
So
way.
I'm 32 now, yeah.
Yeah. So you were a lot younger than me, but there wasn't a lot of support in school, was there?
No.
No, there wasn't as much acknowledge of mental health and anxiety and well-being.
Yeah.
For young people.
No.
So what was that like? How did you navigate that? How did you?
I think like a lot of it come from when I left school. So I used to struggle with weight. It was a massive one.
Yeah.
I was tiny. And you know, I said earlier, like Nan and Grandad were like the be all and end all. But my granddad died when I was 18, and I think that was what tipped me over the edge.
Yeah.
Because he was like my absolute world. He was nuts. Like, he was nuts.
Yeah, the character.
Oh my God, he was a character. Yeah, he was fully one of a kind. But he loved his grandkids. Like there was no tomorrow. And he'd tell everyone, do you know what I mean? He would like let it be known that today you're my favourite grandchild. Do you know what I mean? He was nuts. But like the thing, so weight was always one for me. I don't know if that's because it was something I could control. So then I got diagnosed with borderline anorexia at the age of 16. And then my granddad passing was another one.
Yeah.
I feel like the age of 16 for me is where I went a bit wobbly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because where I've always had structure through school, I then didn't have structure. So I just didn't really know what to do with myself.
You were doing maybe a course that you weren't.
Yeah, I wasn't really. I was just lost. I didn't really know.
Were you like working at the time though when you left school? Did you get a job?
No, I went to college.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
City of Liverpool, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to college and then I ended up doing like textiles and stuff like that.
Did you finish your course?
No.
No.
I don't think I really finished anything that I've ever started apart from now in my life.
Yeah.
Because I was
that'll affect your self-worth, won't it? Like,
Yeah.
I can't do it, I've never done it, I can't,
Yeah.
you know, so achievement really sets you on that,
Yeah.
on that thing, doesn't it? So, age 16 then, average schooling really, in an area that you weren't familiar with people that you were probably stood out a little bit with your accent and, you know, Frodshams kind of, you know, you might have had a couple of kids with a similar accent, but on the whole, you probably stood out a bit, did all right, started doing a course that you wanted to do, and then you started going out.
Yeah.
So what was that like then? I know I was going out at 16, you know, like, I used to go to like the teeny bopper night and then straight out into the adults world, you know.
It was insane. I started going out literally at the age of 16, and when I started going out it was Garland's era.
Yeah.
So it was massive then, the Garlands.
Yeah, so you were going to Garland's.
I was going to Garland's, then I started to experimenting in different substances.
Yeah. So what was the substance of choice then?
Cocaine, ecstasy.
Yeah.
At that time as well, there was MCAT. I don't know if you ever remember MCAT.
Yeah, I remember. It's like
that was legal. That was legal when we used to go.
Yeah.
And we could buy it online. And I just think at that time in my life, it was doing something that teenagers always do. But it was a time for me where I'd just lost my granddad, and I was also understanding the complexities of my childhood and getting to a point where I was like, no, that wasn't normal, that. I shouldn't have seen that.
Yeah.
And then because I'm getting older, then you'll get other family members who'll say, this happened, and then you're like, wow, that's just sparked up in my head that I remember that now.
Yeah.
So it kind of come hand in hand for me.
Yeah. What was the attraction then to going out, to drugs, to
Escape from reality.
Yeah. And was there anybody keeping, was, because some kids do that and they've got nobody kind of on top of them, pressurising them, watching them. So some kids just do what they want to do. Was that
pretty much?
Was that you? Yeah, there was nobody kind of, I think if you live in a strict household or your parents are watching you all the time, I think if you're going to do it, you do it anyway, and you just move away from the house, don't you? But were you still living at home?
Still living at home, yeah. I went from living, mum and dad had split when I was 11.
Right.
So I'd gone from...
So again, that's another...
So yeah, and then I moved in with my dad when I was about 15. And my dad's just like, he's another character.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like, I'm a daddy's girl, do you know what I mean? And I just do what I want.
Yeah.
But all that kind of stuff, and I think even going from the move from living with mum and my brother to then moving with my dad, that was a lot. My dad was quite sick at the time as well. He'd had a hip replacement.
Yep. I knew what you meant.
He'd had a hip replacement, and then he was so sick after then. He's still sick to this day.
Yeah.
And there was just loads of different things that was going on in my little brain.
Yeah, well, even all those things you've mentioned, parental separation at 11 is massive, isn't it? And that impacts kids a lot. I deal with that a lot in my work, sadly. And there's always nan and granddads in the background trying to support and just keep it all going and moving along. And, so it's unsurprising. So going back to obviously, because what I'm trying to get to is where it started to go really wrong. But from being 16 onwards, so 16 over that next few years, were you going out a lot?
Yeah.
So how were you like? Where were you getting money from? And
so I was work. I'd go to college. Then I ended up involved in. I've always done care work.
Yeah.
So I work with kids with learning needs. I loved that. Absolutely loved it. I'm no good at a 9-to-5 job.
No.
I can't sit there and I love connecting with different people.
Yeah.
Like an office job or something's just not for me. So I always kind of done that kind of stuff. But then as time went on, I then started to become involved. Well, I find myself around people that I shouldn't have been around, for one. Involved in situations that I shouldn't have been in.
Was that in that circle of, did it start off with you being young and going out and...
Yeah.
Would you say because I know me thinking back to when I was younger, at that age, 15, 16, 17, 18, I was hanging around with older people. But if I looked at it really, I was probably either being exploited or on the verge of being exploited.
Absolutely.
I was never not got a criminal record or anything like that. I've got a couple of cautions and that type of thing from when I was that age.
Yeah.
But you get into things, don't you? And you get asked to, will you sort that, or will you do this for me, or will you do... Whereas you looked at that now, that's exploitation, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's criminals and criminal gangs asking you to, you know... I would profess to be seriously, entrenched in that. But what was that like for you? Like what? And obviously, I don't want you to go into detail about different people and stuff. But do you feel that you were being exploited?
I didn't at the time. I thought I was invincible.
Yeah.
But now I understand that absolutely I was definitely vulnerable.
Yeah.
Massively vulnerable. And I think I'd got myself to a point in my own mindset where I did not care.
Yeah.
Didn't care because I was that lost in life. And I remember there's if I sit there and think now, I've been in houses before with grows of weed, guns, stacks of money, kilos of cocaine, and I wasn't scared.
No. What age were you then?
19, 20.
Yeah.
That's young. So
that kind of escalated, didn't it, from going out, of getting involved, taking a few drugs, hitting the party scene.
Yeah.
To that. You know. How do you think that happened?
I think as I started going out, I started maybe dabbling in drugs a bit more, and then getting involved with different people, and then a lot of my friends were drug dealers at the time, and I was in a relationship with a drug dealer as well. So that kind of spun me in.
Yeah.
And I think I try and say this in the right way, that was probably normal to me.
Yeah.
And that's
So it'd
probably what
become
I'm used to.
normalised. It'd become, that'd just be every
Yeah,
day.
that was normal.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and I sit there now and I think, wow, like I've been sat in houses with weapons and like, you know, things like that, and I'd be petrified now
Yeah.
if you put me in a house like that. I'd be
Yeah.
so scared, but I just didn't care.
No.
I did not care at all. You know, there was times where I'd been asked by somebody, do you want it, got a flat there for you, do you want to come and live in it, but we've got to grow in it?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I didn't. Because somebody said to me, are you stupid? Because if that goes, you're gone, you're in prison.
Yeah.
But I think just the mindset that I had, I was like, I don't know, I'll just
You
do
didn't really
anything.
care about the consequences,
I
did you?
didn't care about myself. I really didn't.
Did you, looking back as well and looking at some of those kind of friendships, are you friends with anybody still now from those circles?
No.
No.
What a massive wake-up call was for me was, I obviously after then I hit the party scene quite hard, so going out over weekends would then be going out Friday, not coming home till the Monday, would then be doing a why not Wednesday, is what I called it.
Yeah.
So then these kinds of behaviours spiralled.
Yeah.
And I've got my son now, as I've said before, he was 5, and I remember I always used to say to my mates, I've had enough.
Yeah. What age were you then?
This was like, I stopped at 25.
Yeah, so mid-20s.
Yeah, so I was like mid-20s at this age. So this was from like the ages of 18 to 25 was horrific
So
for
7
me.
years of
Chaos.
hardcore.
Chaos, yeah. And you'll know this yourself when you're a child and you've grown up in chaos. Chaos feels comfy.
Well, yeah.
That's what you're used to, isn't it? Where that fight or flight mode.
Yeah, because if you don't have it, then it's like it's boring.
What's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's boring, isn't it?
It's boring, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like, I used to say I've had enough, my mental health was gone. If I think back now, I know that I was taking too many drugs and I was trying to push myself over the edge.
Yeah, so that was like probably 3 or 4 times a week, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
and then just sleeping the rest.
Yeah, so it started with cocaine, ecstasy. Did it progress to anything else?
No.
No, so it was just that was your
They were my 2 safeties.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not safe.
No.
But in a way of that's where I felt comfortable.
Yeah. So in that 7-year period, did you try and get some help?
No. I didn't know there was help.
You were just like, I'm just going for it. And did
Yeah.
you have any health like conditions and stuff like that, or?
No, I mean, like I said, my weight was a massive one.
Yeah.
I must have been about 5.5 stone at one point.
Yeah.
But in my head, thought that I was overweight. The way my brain worked at the time, and I don't know if it was the drugs that made it worse, was that I would know how thin that I was, and I wouldn't leave the house because I'd be thinking, no, hang on, I would think that I was overweight, but then I wouldn't leave the house because I'd get really bad anxiety thinking that people would look at me and think I was too thin.
Yeah.
And like, how does that even?
Yeah.
How does that wrap in your head? Do you know what I mean?
So did it? It sounds like it started off as a social thing.
Yeah, but then progressively
Then it became kind of secluded in the house.
Yes.
Not going out.
Not going out. And then if I was going out, I'd just go missing.
Yeah.
Phone would go in flight mode and that'd be it, I'd be off.
Yeah.
And I'd had no direction. I had no, like, my auntie is, on my mum's side, she is a manager she's a drugs worker.
Yeah.
And she used to say to me, when you're ready, and I should say, there's nothing wrong with me. And she'd be like, Jem, come on.
So she knew?
Oh yeah, everyone knew.
Yeah.
Everyone was worried about me.
Yeah. Was anyone calling you out though, like seriously calling you out and saying you've got to stop?
No.
So, nobody put you under any pressure as such
No.
Yeah.
So I could go missing for like 3 days and no one would question where I was.
Yeah.
No one would ring me phone.
Did you ever get reported missing or anything?
No.
No. So you didn't have any structure, did you?
No.
Didn't have anybody to answer to, did you?
No, not really.
Yeah.
So, but my auntie, she used to say to me, you need to blah, 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 there's stuff going on and you need to, and I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. What gorgeous time.
Having a great time.
I thought I was having time in my life.
How do you think, looking back now, how do you think you presented to other people? So not just your family and your friends, but people that you didn't know as well. In that 7 years, how do you think you presented to people? What do you think people thought of you?
Chaotic.
Yeah.
Lost.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard question, really. I do definitely think lost.
Yeah.
You know what? The stuff that I like, some of the things now, I sit back and I think, wow. You know, but I definitely think people would just thought, Jesus Christ. You know, like, where's she? Because I was just wild. I had no, like, there was no settling in me. And I just used to hang around with, like, people that are exactly the same as me.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
did you have days where you were coming down and then did you ever have any thoughts where you were like, I need to stop this now, like this is it now, I'm going to stop it, like internal thoughts?
Towards the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was weak.
Yeah.
It's as in mentally weak.
So you probably weren't eating properly, were you?
Wasn't eating properly. I was thin anyway.
Yeah.
My mental health was shot. It was absolutely gone. And then like I didn't really know what day it was. Didn't really care. I just sleep all day. Then I had to get up and go out through the night.
Yeah. So you had no structure to you.
I was just
Were you still
lost.
working as well though?
I'd work and then stop, and then I'd work and then stop, and then
So why did you keep stopping and starting?
because I'd just go off the handle and go missing.
And your priorities were something different.
Yeah, my priorities were well in the party scene.
So you were like self-medicating really, weren't you?
Yeah, massively.
What your issues were, and you hadn't gone through them, you hadn't resolved them, you hadn't,
No.
It just kind of sounds like it just kind of spiralled.
Yeah, and I have never had like counselling, and I've really spoken to anyone when I was younger. I do now.
Yeah.
Been diagnosed now with PTSD.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was so you said at 25 what was the catalyst then, the thing that made you stop using drugs and say, right, this is enough? Did something happen, something traumatic, something?
Yeah, so for a while I was saying like I want to stop. And I said to my mate, I've had enough. And he would say, shut up, Jem, you're the worst one.
Yeah.
You're the one who's out for 3 days, like you're not going to stop, shut up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's almost like people expect that of you.
Yeah,
that's who you
absolutely,
are.
yeah. And then my nan, bless her, she used to worry about me terrible. And she went into hospital. She had a brain tumour. She had an operation, to like remove it. And I remember thinking like, geez, this is it, and I can't stop using, and I'm just like round the bend. And then I had a mate at the time, Curtis, and he died from his ketamine use. And going to his funeral, and he lived with his nan, so seeing his nan sitting there at the funeral while my nan was in hospital in a coma was just like, wow.
So you put yourself in that situation then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, you probably put yourself up at the front in the...
Yeah, and I was just like, so to like to sit back and see that was just like, wow.
So that must have been really powerful.
Yeah, it was.
For you to suddenly 7, 8 years, 9 years of drug use, however
I was just in chaos.
For you to suddenly go...
Yeah.
So that was the moment then.
That was
you
it.
Think of.
That was it. Yeah. And I remember saying to my auntie, like, I need out now. I've had enough. I think I didn't want to say that I'd had enough to like my family, because they were a little bit like, oh, don't you sound?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're all right. You're not on the heroin.
Yeah.
You're not on the crack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
had you tried ketamine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
because it wasn't as popular then, was it? Obviously, we'll talk about your role now and what you're doing in a bit, but certainly wasn't as popular then, was it? And
no.
Common.
No. So I remember when ketamine first come out, first started hitting the scene, and I never really touched it because I admit, like I said, cocaine was my safety, ecstasy was my safety. They're 2 drugs I was happy with, and then I wouldn't really experiment on other things.
What about weed? Did you smoke weed?
No. I don't really like the downers.
Yeah.
So ketamine is a downer, like the weed. And I'd had it a couple of times, but it just never interested me.
So who was your kind of your support then? Was it your auntie that started to support you around trying to figure out how you were gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah. So was she a drugs worker at the time?
She's a drugs worker, yeah.
Right. So what? How did that conversation go then? What did you? So were you fully set in your mind? Were you like, this is it now? I need to. Kind of what was going on in your...
I just had enough.
Yeah.
I'd physically and mentally checked out to the point I couldn't have went on, because I'm surprised I didn't die at some point. And I just said, she's the only person in my life where I felt like I've been open enough to speak about and say, do you know what?
Yeah.
I need help here.
And was that a big, long conversation, or was it,
It was
did you go to meet her? Did you, what did that, I suppose the reason I'm asking as well is I think sometimes for our viewers, they might have a family member in a similar situation, or they might be, and it's almost like, what did you do to flick that switch almost? I know you've had to work hard between then and now,
Yeah.
but what was that? Obviously you've told us about the trigger, you've told us about that, what happened with your friend and his nan.
Yeah.
But how did that conversation go? What?
I was just, because she'd been on at me for a while and saying like, come on, you need to sort it out now, you need help, da da da. And then after that I just rang her and I said, I need help, I'm ready. So I got some help from a drug service.
Yeah.
I got counselling. Counselling's changed my life like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm still now go to counselling.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much, and I'm a massive believer in like, life is all about getting to know you as a person and how you act in situations. So like something that might not have bothered me a year ago might bother me today. And it's like learning and understanding myself and how I'd cope in them kind of situations. So yeah, counselling was a massive one, and then that was it. Then I was only like off the party scene for like a year, and then I had my son.
Yeah.
And he was a massive game changer for me.
I mean, that's, it's amazing, isn't it, that's happened, and obviously that's the thing that's changed the direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
What happened in that first year then? So what was that like physically and mentally? Obviously you're withdrawing from these substances that you'd been on for so long.
Yeah.
What was that like for you as a person? Was he, because you hear different things, don't you? Some people are absolutely fine. Some people really struggle. There's temptation. There's because what you're not only cutting off the substance, you're cutting off the people that are associated with that as well.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was really, really hard. And anyone who says that it's easy, when you want to change your life like that, you have to completely change your life.
Yeah.
And that
you're
means,
either all in or...
Yeah, you're either all in or you're all out. You can't be have your toe in and then, do you know what I mean? And I think like when you take substances, they suppress your feelings.
Yeah.
So you don't feel anything because you're constantly like, everything's just suppressed. So my anxiety was through the roof because all of a sudden I could then feel all these emotions.
Feel everything, yeah.
My nan was still in hospital, obviously, at the time.
Yeah.
And she then ended up becoming brain damaged. So a lot of my time was then in care homes with her, and I think that was what kept me sane.
It gave you that focus, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah.
So did you, physically, did you start to feel better? I know you probably went through a period of feeling absolutely awful.
Yeah.
But did you go for a period of starting to...
Feeling better?
Yeah. Well, I forgot to mention before, actually, was one of the kind of gateways, if you like, to you taking drugs, were you drinking a lot as well? Or were you not drinking as much? But I suppose what I'm getting at is,
I think it started from drinking.
Yeah. Did you stop drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped drinking as much.
Yeah.
So like now if I had 2 vodkas, I'm rotting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because my body's not used to that was the same then. Do you know what I mean? I think I weren't taking substances to go out and have a good time. I was taking substances to stop my mind.
Yeah.
And to because it was just full of absolute, it had like the low self-worth, the self-sabotage, then the trauma, the just feeling lost and having no direction.
Yeah.
It was like, I didn't care. I really didn't care.
Did you, like when you spoke to your auntie, did you believe you were going to get off of drugs? Did you genuinely believe?
But I'll be honest with you, I fell off a few times.
Right.
And there'd be times where I'd say to my mates, like, go on, I'll come up, but I'm not. Please don't offer me nothing.
Yeah.
Please, just like, I need to like get my head straight. And every time I'd just fall back off.
Yeah.
Then I'd be in the same cycle. I started going to meditation, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
And meditation courses, and they changed my life in a way of just because obviously I've never really had that safe space to talk about how I feel.
Yeah, so you had your counselling, you had your meditation, looking after your nan.
Yeah.
So these were all kind of nice, positive, things that you were going to and coming out of probably feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You know, there's years where I haven't felt because I wouldn't allow myself to feel anything or think anything. I just wanted to be gone,
Yeah.
off.
It's just escapism,
I was
isn't it?
just like, see you later.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that was a kind of tough 12 months. You fell off a couple of times, but then, so what was it that made you keep going, do you think? Because sometimes people fall off and they don't get back on again, do they?
I'd had enough.
Yeah.
And it's only when my nan was so sick, I just thought I can't take my own life for granted.
No.
When she's here, you know, and it was just hard. It was really hard to deal with. Some days she didn't know who I was, some days she did.
Yeah.
And that's a massive regret in my life. I don't regret nothing. There's nothing in, because like everything that I've been through makes me who I am today. But one thing that I hate about my life is that my nan worried so much about me, and she doesn't know me today because she was in a coma and then was brain damaged and died. She died 3 weeks before my son was born.
Wow.
So like in that time, even though I was clean for that many years and I was doing all right, she never seen me because she didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, God, you know, I wish that she was here to see that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that must be hard. But I suppose you keep going, don't you, for that reason as well. And now you've got your son and stuff.
My son changed my life like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And something, my sister, I've got an older sister, and she used to say to me all the time, do you know when you have your kids? And I used to say, yeah, she said, you won't care about anything else because that becomes your family then.
Yeah.
And that's so true.
Yeah. I think it's true, isn't it, of a lot of people, but some people follow that pattern, don't they? And
For not breaking the cycle.
Yeah. Some people repeat the cycle,
Yeah.
don't they, sadly. I'm proud that I haven't repeated that cycle.
And that's sorry.
But no, it's okay. But yeah, I think it's that's, you know, if you can change the direction of your children's lives as well. So that was the thing that you. So what happened then? What happened between that year, between 25 and then you having your son? What did you start? Were you starting to work? Were you starting to?
Yeah, I work with kids in care.
Right.
Loved it.
Loved it. Yeah. So you've always. It sounds like you've always kind of had that desire to help and support people. It's always been in you.
Yeah.
But you just haven't.
It's in my blood.
Yeah.
From like family.
Yeah,
That's all my family do.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, we've got this care in nature in us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I work with kids in care, and it was crackers.
Yeah.
But I absolutely loved it, you know.
Yeah.
I've got some stories from them times. But yeah, I loved it. I really, really loved it. I used to do like 24-hour shifts, but I'd stay there for like 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And then come home. That kept me clean.
So what a contrast as well. So going from disappearing on a drugs binge for 3 or 4 days, or working in a care home and supporting kids. What a contrast.
I know.
Both of them, you're disappearing, but you're doing very different things.
It's very, very different, yeah.
Did that some of that work make you feel good as well? I know some of it's difficult. I've worked in children's homes. I'm from a care background, so I know it myself. But although it's challenging, that work, isn't it? You're dealing with behaviours all the time, but you've got some real characters that have got awful stories, haven't they? But did you come away from that type of work and you know, when you finished a shift and you think, was it a good feeling where you're like, I've done something good today? It was like a different kind of a drug in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something, and there's something in helping somebody else which heals you.
Yeah.
I'm a massive believer.
Yeah.
I do feel like as a community, we should always be helping each other.
Yeah.
We should always be kind. The best thing, like I said, the best thing that you can give somebody is time.
Of course.
So like, I think that's something that I never had. So that's something that I give to everybody I meet.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you stood in front of me in the queue in the Asda. I'll give you the time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the kids, when you used to work with them, giving them time and then just seeing that. Even if you said you just want to watch a film, they've probably never had that before.
No.
Do you know?
Bit of time, consistency.
Yeah.
They know, don't you, whether you're there for the money or you're there because you genuinely want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody works in that area is ever going to be a millionaire, are they? Unless they own a few children's homes. But you're there because, you know, you want to support them, and you know, they come from mostly worse backgrounds than you, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's amazing then. So obviously your son came along then. What's your son called?
Louis.
So he's 5 now.
He's 5, yeah.
So what was it about being a parent then that helped your journey, your recovery journey, if you like?
I think it healed me in ways of, like I said, when you have your own child, it's like you know, like I said, my mum and dad aren't bad parents. They are the way they are, and that's absolutely fine. But like that doesn't matter to me anymore now. Do you know, this is my family now, and everything that I want time, I give them all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And just like projecting anything that I felt like I missed onto him.
Yeah.
You know, he's so loved.
That's your opportunity to put it right, isn't it?
Yeah, and that healed me.
Yeah.
That healed me in a way of, because you can go either way, like you said. You can either think, this is all that I've ever known,
Yeah.
this is what I've had, this is what I'm carrying on.
Yeah.
Or you can change it round, and it's only been me and Louis now for like the past 3 years. Me and his dad separated when he was 2. And that was like, led me down, like that relationship was not healthy. And for me, I was like, my son's not grown up in an unhealthy environment, because I know how that impacts you as a child.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because me and my son's mum, we broke up when he was like 2.5. But I've spoken about it in my podcast, but that wasn't, quite right, I suppose, for either of us. But you almost feel, I felt a little bit kind of a bit guilty in a way, because I didn't want him to come from a separated home.
Yeah.
But actually looking at us now and looking at my relationship with his mum and with him, and my relationship that I've got now with my wife and my kind of, it just works so well. But I think what they've always had is that consistency, and it can still work.
It can, yeah.
But what you've got to ask yourself is, do I want this, and is this the...
Yeah.
So I kind of know where you're coming from in that respect.
Yeah, and I think when you come from a background which is, your family's separated, and you know how that impacts you.
Yeah.
I used to feel jealous and sad of like other kids where the mum and dad were still together.
Yeah.
But then it's weird, because I'd never have my mum and dad together, because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was thinking, I'm not having my son coming from a broken family.
Yeah.
So I tried my best, and I really, really did try my best. But there comes a point, doesn't there, where you've just got to be like, no.
Yeah.
And the kids, he's the
and you
best.
can still make it work. You can still make
Me
it
too,
work.
in a fashion.
Yeah. It's not easy, is it?
No.
And then you get blended families, and other people come along and all that stuff. But as long as,
As long as my son's happy, that's the only thing that'll ever...
So obviously that just kind of, you were getting counselling, you were still meditating and things like that. So, and then your son came along, so that was kind of quite therapeutic for you as well.
Yeah.
What was your relationship like when you had a child of your own? Because quite often, if things are difficult when you're a bit younger, I know you've told me about your relationship with your dad now. It's really good, isn't it? Do you think that changed when you became a parent? Was it? It's almost it's like something happens, I think, with grandparents. It's like it can bring you back together, can't it?
Definitely.
Do you think that was the catalyst, or what was the thing that made you closer again to your dad?
And my mum as well.
And your mum as well,
yeah.
Sorry.
I think it was becoming a parent.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it as well is they see how I live my life now.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't have a perfect life, but I live a lot better than what it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I live a really, really good life, to be honest with you. But like, I think just having that, you'd have a child, and then it's so joyful, isn't it?
Of course it is. There's so many lovely
the best
phases
thing
as
ever.
well. And you've got, at 5, you've got so many more to come.
Oh my God.
And different phases as well, and you've got the teenage years, and what that brings. But yeah, so many exciting times for you. So it brings us on nicely to like your work now and what you do now, and so explain to us what you do now, and not just what you do, but just how that happened. How you went from stopping taking drugs at 25 to the job that you do now, which is how we kind of connected, really, isn't it, through our work?
Yeah, through
you came and did you did some presentations, and I was like, I need to get you on the podcast, because your story's like, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So how did you go from that then? How did you get this job? What happened?
So obviously I work for ages with kids in care, but it was 24-hour shifts.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot there in regards to safeguarding and like social services and stuff like that. And my auntie, she's the one who was saying to me, you've got a problem, you need to sort yourself out. She said, when you're ready, I want you to come work with us. And I was like... And then because of like my son's age and stuff, I couldn't work the shifts that I was working, because you earn a lot of money when you're looking after kids in care.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in it. And I said, I'm ready. So I went in I was a family worker. Used to work with like with families you know, and that again cured me.
Yeah.
That healed something inside me when you're working and you're safeguarding children in a way. Sometimes it was hard because I'd see kids get removed for a lot less than what I seen.
Yeah.
That was difficult because then stuck in my head I was like, well, why wasn't I safeguarded?
Yeah.
And
Did you? I know it sounds like you reflected on it quite a lot. I've been in this area for 15 years now, a long time. I have to remind myself that I was a kid like that. I've almost
Yes.
kind of separated myself now.
Yeah.
I've gone through that process of this is what happened and I've made sense of that. But now I have to remind myself that I've been through things like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like you disassociate yourself from it
Yeah.
almost. I don't know if you do that or you've always thought about...
No, I do disassociate myself. And I always say to people, if you would have met me a few years ago, you would never have recognised me for being the same person.
Yeah.
Um,
So the job that you do now, obviously you're a drugs worker, you're a drugs advisor, you train professionals.
Yeah.
How did you get into that, that particular area from working in family work and social work?
It come from, so my auntie, when she said, come and work for us, I was like, fine, yeah, that sounds. Obviously, my friends had died from ketamine, so I do a lot of the work around the city in regards to ket.
Yeah.
I've been at the game now for nearly 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's an absolute epidemic with ketamine at the minute. So I come in and I work with the families, I'd working with parents who are misusing substances and And I said to them, I said, my managers at the time, I said, my mate died from ket. And what happened with him is he had stage 4 kidney failure. He needed a full bladder reconstruction and he was told he was never going to have kids. And he took his own life when he found that out. For me, then I was like, if I would have known that, would I hell be sat there with my friends who were sniffing ket and allowing that to happen?
Yeah.
So when I come in, I said to them, listen, we make that from ket. I want to give people that education that I never had.
Yeah.
I want to build on the awareness of ket. So I always dealt with ketamine at the side of my job. Until now, where I just do ketamine.
Yeah.
Work.
Yes. Yeah. Let's get that right. Ketamine work.
I just deal with ketamine all the time. And I'm now like a senior member of staff, which is how the hell I've got there.
Yeah.
How have I done that? I don't know.
But I suppose it's that you had that idea, didn't you? You responded to something really traumatic that you'd been through.
Yes.
Something that's really close to home, and it sounds like a really good friend. That and that how that could lead a person to do that, and that what the impact of it is on the body.
Yeah.
That's what you do now, don't you? You raise awareness of that.
Yeah. So it literally started with me and Amy, she works with us as well. She lost a friend to ketamine and it was like, come on, I built my own training package. I was like, I don't need anything. Just let me build it. Let me sort it out. I'll start going out. I used to go out to like different organisations. I said, you just want to know a little bit about ket? And over time, it grew that much that we done over 1,000 professionals in 1 year.
Wow.
It was like, and it's so, everyone wants to know, to the point where now people who know me in a professional capacity call me the ket queen.
Right, okay.
Because I'm so knowledgeable on ket and like everybody knows
But isn't that interesting? That's a title that you welcome because of your work that you've done.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas, 7 years ago, 8 years ago,
like,
you've been like, no, I don't want that.
No.
I don't want anybody to know that.
Nah. Exactly.
So that's amazing. So tell us about ket then. So what in Liverpool then? What's the... I mean, I know we've spoken before, haven't we? You say Liverpool, St Helens. There's other areas where it's becoming an epidemic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's becoming, I know that obviously I work in this area. I know that, when it's becoming a problem because you get a lot of input from different... I go to different groups, within my role, different strategic groups and stuff like that. And I think over the last... Since I've been back in Liverpool working, because I was in Warrington for probably about 9 years, back in Liverpool working at the college and then what I do now for the trust... ket over the last probably 3 years, 4 years maybe, is the awareness has started to grow, hasn't it, about the impact of it.
Yeah.
So tell us from your point of view then, because I'm not the expert, you're the expert.
Yeah.
Tell us about what is happening in Liverpool then when it comes to ketamine.
It's crazy. It is an epidemic.
Yeah.
It's rife everywhere. Ketamine now is, and it's so cheap. So we're seeing young people as young as 12 using Ket. My son's 5, and I think, wow, a 12-year-old,
Yeah.
like, you're not leaving the house, mate.
No.
Because of some of the stuff that you see now.
So what is it for people that don't know what it is? What is
Okay.
it? What does it do?
Yes.
What's the impact? Who's using it? Why are they using it?
Yeah.
Just if you can help the viewers kind of understand what it is, because again, this will help raise awareness, won't it?
Yeah, so Ket is it's known as a horse tranquilizer, but it's not actually a horse tranquilizer, it's an anaesthetic. So it's used within hospitals, it's used within vets, it's very widely used medicinally. And then basically, if you hit Ket comes in like a liquid form first. If you heat that up, it comes into a powdered-like form, and it's sniffed, snorted. It's so cheap. You're looking on in Liverpool now, we're earning £5 for a gram of Ket.
So when we were kids, it was like the big thing and the cheap thing, which I always compare it to, was probably speed.
Yeah.
People used to take speed for that, small amounts of money.
Yeah.
It's mass produced, isn't it, Ket, as well? Is it?
Yeah.
Does a lot of it come from Holland?
Yeah, Netherlands, apparently.
Yeah.
So I asked the police. We had like a police person come in just to speak to us about, drugs coming over from different areas, and I was like, "Where's this Ket coming from?" Because like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But obviously, ketamine causes really severe physical health implications.
Yeah. So why does it? What does it do, and why? What's the science bit?
Okay, the science bit is so Ket. If you look at it, it's very glass-like and it's very shardy. So basically, our bodies don't break Ket down. So what happens is you sniff Ket and it goes and it sits within your bladder. So say your bladder's here like this, and you've got a line in there that goes around the outside. Can you imagine tiny little shards of glass cutting away at that lining? So then when your bladder then fills with water, you've essentially got cut weight going into them cuts, which is causing chronic pain. Obviously with Ket being an anaesthetic and people, being in pain, they're using Ket then to stop the pain. And over long periods, long-term use. I say long-term use, you'd only need a couple of years on the Ket and your body is deteriorates rapidly. And then, the bladder then starts to harden and shrink. So we're seeing so many young people now in incontinence pads, in nappies, failed kidneys, failed livers is another one.
Is it irreversible in a lot of cases?
It's hard to say, because everybody's bodies are different, and everybody heals differently. I mean, in irreversible, there is times where it's irreversible, and that's when people are having, bags fitted, and that's not uncommon. That what we're seeing now of young people who are having, bags fitted because the bladders can't hold any more water. The bladders are completely gone. And that's scary, isn't it? So I kind of call Ket, for me, is what I call this generation's heroin. That's a massive, massive statement to make. But there's reasons behind that. And that's the same as when heroin come into the city. No one knew what it done. No one knew the full impacts. Everyone was like, oh, this new substance.
Yeah.
They're doing the same with the Ket. And actually it's rotting your insides. We're getting young people dying off ketamine.
Yeah.
People in bags, they have bodies like 90-year-olds where they're all hunched over and they're in chronic pain and in incontinence pads, and it's really hard.
What's the kind of worst case you've seen? Or I know you meet with people, don't you? You support people, you do.
Yeah.
Over the years you've supported people that have been on drugs and supported them to get off of drugs. What's the worst case you've seen from a ketamine point of view? Obviously, what age was that person? What was their condition? How did it affect them?
There's been a few times, and I think the times where I'll tell you the most the worst one, but the times where it's really tough and it's really hard is when they become bedbound. So there's been so many times where I've gone to people's houses and there's bottles of urine everywhere. They're that thin they can't get out of bed. That's scary.
Yeah. To
see somebody so young like that.
How young are you talking?
You're looking at 19.
Wow.
20s. Sometimes these kids are 16. It's all different ages. It's very prevalent between the ages of 16 and 25, I'd say, Ket. I work with a young girl, and she passed away. I worked with her for years.
From ketamine
She passed away from a ketamine use. She was only 23 when she died.
Wow.
And that was hard. That, as a professional, that was hard.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the time I knew she was dying, you try and put things in place for her, but she had that much trauma that she couldn't stop using. And then I was like saying to my managers, I don't know what to do here, because like no one knows Ket like me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so knowledgeable on it, and I've got that many connections now when it comes to ketamine in regards to getting the right support for people. And I was like, this girl's going to die, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'd put her into detox, or I'd put her into rehab. She'd just relapse, she'd take it in with her. And that was really hard to deal with, and she died in February of this year. But it's mad. I think for me now, I was thinking about this last night, is that I come into this role, and when I come in, what I wanted to do is raise awareness for ketamine and keep somebody's name alive, and let them kids know that actually this is what Ket does. But over the 4 to 5 years that I've been here now, I've got to know Ket. I've got to know the young people, and I feel like I'm in a position now where I'm fighting for all them young people's lives. So I've gone from just sharing my friend's story to now I'm so impacted by these young people.
Well, you kind of embedded, aren't you? You've got that emotional connection, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because you're seeing the people, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're understanding their stories.
Yeah.
You're understanding the impact of what happens.
Yeah.
You know, when they are addicted to ketamine. You know, it's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah, and anything that I do now, even like I deliver training all the time, and I'll sit with, we'll go to a Ket group, and I'll sit with them and say, like, what do you think I need to change on this? Do you just want to tell me something that, like, you think would be really good? Do you want to tell me how Ket makes you feel? Or I'll say to them, okay, what do we need now for Ket in the city?
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to work if I set up a group for before you go into rehab or after you go into rehab? And I ask them a lot of questions. And like, I'll use their voices. So when sometimes I'm in meetings with like commissioners.
That's really important, isn't it? And that's
you take
like
them voices.
lived experience is so important. That's the most powerful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you think about young people, even before they take Ket, like education. It's hard, isn't it, in schools, because you don't want to raise awareness of it, but then you need to combat it as well. You need to educate people around it before it happens.
Yeah.
Have you had any like real success stories as well, where kids have got off of it and they've started to achieve and started to do good things in their lives? You must have quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got there's so many. It's mad because I always keep in touch with people.
Yeah.
And it was only like the other day where I was like scrolling through Instagram, and one of my old people, should we say, was there doing a video and, doing a ketamine awareness night.
Yeah.
This is someone who didn't want anyone to know that they was using Ket.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of my young people are doing TikTok videos now with the spreading awareness, and they just want to get on board. But it's really hard because I think we're only now just seeing people get clean and stay clean off the Ket. So now it's like, how do we manage that?
Yeah.
Because the relapse rate's so high as well.
So what's happening in the city then? You've met with commissioners and different people. Who have you met with?
Everyone.
Everybody, yeah.
I literally, when it comes to Ket, will speak to anyone who will listen to me. So we've got ketamine groups through the Lifeboat.
Yeah.
They're unbelievable. They're a game changer. In a way of, you've got young people there, and ketamine as a substance is so isolating. So isolating. And,
it's not a sociable drug, is it?
No, it's not sociable. So they're using their own. Whereas when I was on the party scene, Ket was on the party scene. Ket is not a party drug anymore.
No.
It's used with like young people sniffing it in their bedrooms, playing on their Xbox. Some lad said to me the other day, "Oh, I just sniff it and watch a film." And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The drug game's changed so much now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, so we got the groups. So then you've got young people there, and they'll be like, okay, so I've been experiencing all this pain with my bladder, and then you'll see one of them and go, oh my God, I get bladder pain as well. And because they've never been around anyone, but they're getting that peer support.
They're starting to communicate now.
Yeah.
And there's more and more coming on TikTok.
Yeah.
There's more awareness.
Yeah.
I think there's more like in the mainstream media as well about it now, isn't there?
Yeah.
So are people listening to you, which is the most important thing, isn't it? You're able to share all these stories, aren't you?
Yes.
What's going on in Liverpool? Just use Liverpool or St Helens as an example. What's going into the city and into places like St Helens where there's a big issue with it?
Yeah.
What's going in to support? You know, thinking about, because none of these things can work without funding, can they?
No.
So what's going on? What are the new, you know?
There's all kinds of things going on.
So I know that the council are talking about it all the time. You know, it's ketamine training for this, and let's go on.
Yeah.
But training doesn't support young people. Training for adults doesn't support young people, does it?
No.
You know, it does, but it helps you to raise
Yeah.
awareness and to know about it But what's actually helping the young people?
So obviously we've got the UK's first ketamine clinic. Do you know that, in Alderhay Hospital for under 16s? That's massive.
For under 16s?
For under 16s, it's in Alderhay, and it's the first ever one in the UK.
Wow.
And that basically is for urology. So when we've got all these young people coming in, they can get referred in by the GP.
Yeah.
And then there's a ketamine worker there with them. I want ketamine workers everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like, you know, A&E, so I think like that'll come where we'll have ket clinics in the hospitals. Because for me, how many people are being misdiagnosed?
Yeah.
You know, and then we've got, you know, I'm doing a lot of work with the rehab on like, because ket's so complex, ketamine users are really complex, and the physical health and stuff. And I'm always having meetings like, how can I support you?
Yeah.
What can we do better?
Because we were, when you delivered the training, it was, we were chatting about within, you know, when you did it for some of our schools, we were chatting about who it impacts, where it's more prevalent. And I think we were saying that it impacts girls more physically, or there's more severe cases with girls.
Yeah.
But actually it's a drug that everybody uses, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and it's that's where the epidemic kind of comes from.
Yeah, it's rife. It's more rife up the north ends.
Yeah.
Speak starting to come through a little bit now, so that's amazing, because as a professional, everyone knows speak, you can't get in, you can't get out, can you?
Yeah.
It's hard. The speak are just their own little community.
Yeah.
So it's
but
amazing.
you're getting
now.
more and more communication from those areas. Yeah.
So
that's
amazing.
important. What I know we get lots of different people watching this documentary, this podcast, and you know what we always try and do is kind of what advice can we give? You know, how can we support people that are maybe in the same situation? We try and put resources at the end of each podcast and things like that. But what would your one bit of advice be to, firstly, to young people that are maybe struggling with it, but also to kind of your parents and your family members as well, that know that they've got family members that are involved with it and that are doing it? What would your advice be to those two sets of people, if you like?
If you're using ketamine, I would advise you to get the support quick, because the rapid deterioration from ketamine is it's rapid.
And you said, didn't you, that it affects people in different ways? So you might think your friend might have been taking it for 6 months and be okay.
Yes.
You might take it for a month and go completely downhill.
Yes.
Health-wise.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, I think there's a massive stigma of going into a drug service. I really do.
Yeah.
But they're just not. We're normal people.
Yeah.
We're completely normal people, and a lot of us, everyone you meet in life has got stories to tell.
Yeah.
We're exactly the same.
Is there a lot of ex-addicts as well, like yourself in drugs?
Yeah.
Working. Yeah.
Yeah. We've all got life stories, but there's a reason why we're there. And I always say to people when they come in and see me, like, do not worry about what you're going to say to me, because I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I've been there with people putting the bowels back in because the bowels have prolapsed, or, you know, I've had to carry people when they're completely in a cat hole.
You've seen it in its
I've
worst
seen it.
form, yeah.
I've seen everything. There's not a lot in my job that I haven't seen.
So it's just having that bravery, I suppose,
Yeah.
to know what's out there, to know what support's
Yeah.
around and available, And I suppose it's not just one type of support. There's probably loads. There's probably like
There's
a bit of a
loads.
toolkit, isn't there? For
Yeah.
you can access it in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
What we will do is at the end of the podcast, this one we'll put some resources and put some things that people can just link to, and
Yeah.
just share them. And
Yeah.
so what about like what about like family members and stuff? Because I know this can impact families a lot, can't it? And can break families up and
the family members are really hard to deal with, because as you can imagine, as a mum or a dad, and you're sat there watching your child in chronic pain, they then honour us, like, what can we do? And absolutely, you get it.
Gosh, yeah.
But I think it's my advice would be to parents or family members is get knowledgeable on addiction.
Yeah.
Because we get like, why can't you just stop?
Yeah.
Why get yourself knowledgeable on it? And there's actually, and it helps, it really helps when you understand addiction and how addiction works, and that actually they're not choosing to use, especially with the cat, because of the pain that they're in.
Yeah.
And there's so many support groups out there now for parents.
Yeah.
And, we will deliver them. I mean, when they're delivered or when we speak to the parents after they've been on, they're like, wow, they're all going through the same thing. And it's that peer support.
Yeah.
It's nothing better than the life experience that of other people.
Yeah, it's that lived experience, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, well, I say it's it's amazing work that you do, considering, what we've just spoken about in your story. And so obviously to kind of close up and to kind of, reflect on what's happened to you, and so obviously you're in a very good place now, aren't you? A good position, a good place. You're obviously so passionate about your work.
Yeah.
You're helping others that were like you in a similar situation. What would be your kind of the thing that you're most proud of, and the biggest thing that you take from where you were, 7, 8, 9 years ago to where you are now, and what is the thing that you're most proud of, and the thing that your biggest takeaway, if you like. And I know you're not done yet because you're just going to carry on fighting this fight, aren't you?
Yeah.
But what's the biggest thing that you take, reflecting on where you came from to where you are now?
I don't know, that's a hard question, because there's so much that I'm proud of. And do you know what? I'd even say, like, for me, just sitting there of a night with a cup of tea and a plate of biscuits, and I sit there and think, wow, this life's great.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, there was once a time where I didn't want to be alive anymore, and I didn't think that I'd make it. So I'll be dead honest with you.
Yeah.
So just them simple things in life, and anyone who's lived a chaotic life will agree with you. Just the simple things of like, wow, I've got a home, a job. I'm a social work student. I'm in uni.
Yeah.
These are all things I'd never, if you would have told me when I was
Nobody
younger,
would have believed you.
I was just being like,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, I'm like that with my job now, and I imagine, I said this to somebody the other day about, imagine if I'd have had this conversation with one of my head teachers or teachers going, when I'm older, I'm gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
They would have just, so that kind of makes you proud, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, that's how far you've come, isn't it? You as a person,
Yeah.
severe addiction,
Yeah.
not wanting to be here, significant mental health issues, detached from your family, in a circle of friends that probably didn't really care about you.
No, they didn't. No.
So and where you are now, and that those group of professionals, and it's that respect I think you've probably got from people, and that because you've lived it, haven't you? You've experienced it, and to be able to help others and to empathise. You can't fully empathise obviously with everybody because it's but to be able to be doing something proactive about it and supporting people must be like really quite satisfying.
Yeah, I love it. I'll be honest with you.
So your self-worth now must be a lot higher than it was.
Depends what day it is.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no, it is. It is. And I know that I've made a difference in the community. And I know that I will continue to do that as well.
Yeah.
And I think, like, when you're saying what makes you proud and stuff, there's been times where people have approached me and been like, oh my God, Jemma, I've come to one of your training and you've completely rewired my way of thinking, or you've made me see that in a different light.
Yeah.
Or parents will say to me, I can't thank you enough for making me understand.
That's what makes it worthwhile, isn't it?
That's what makes
when
it
you've changed
worthwhile.
other people's lives, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Just by giving people time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even have to sit there and say anything to them about addiction. Talk about what was on the telly last night.
Yeah.
And just give them that, like, time. So
it sounds like that's the thing that kind of motivates you now. So what's what's next? What are you going to do next?
I don't know.
So obviously you've got your social work degree. You're gonna
Social
complete.
work. Yeah, I've got 1 year left on that. I don't know. There's so much that I want to do with the cat. And that I'm still going to continue doing. I'd love to get an A&Es. I want to go and spend some time in A&E and see what's coming through on the cat. A lot of it's research still, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, you've got to speak to the right people, haven't you, and get, and I think I'm always the type of person, I think this podcast helps a little bit because I get people on and raising awareness and stuff. But this is certainly something you can share and, put it out there, put it on wherever you want, really. But you need to be speaking to the right people, don't you?
Yeah.
And are you the type of person that you'll just speak to anybody? As long as it's getting that, because you have to be like bullshit, don't you, and brave and not care about structures and well, I can't say this and do this because I'm just this.
Yeah.
You got to just put yourself out there, haven't you?
And like, I don't know, I was telling you this before, but like I've just been diagnosed with dyslexia, severe dyslexia as well. So like for me, confidence, like I struggle with, I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
Like, am I saying it right? But then with the cat, there's something about it where I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it makes me confident to talk about it. So it makes me like, my work phone is like hotline bling. Because my numbers does us rounds all the time.
Ringing,
People wanting to speak to me and then like getting everything in. And I think that is just in itself is massive. Like there was not so long ago, my phone number was doing the rounds of talk stuff. It's not an easy area to get into to support. And the lads were like, involved in whatever and struggling on the cat and just needed somebody to speak to.
Yeah.
That's a massive achievement for me. Hitting areas that aren't easy to hit.
Hard to reach, that are shut down. Yeah. No, I think it's amazing, and I think that what you're doing is brilliant. Considering where you've come from and your life story, and I think you should be really satisfied. I know you're not satisfied because you want to just keep going and going, but you should be really satisfied so far with what you've done and what you've achieved.
Definitely.
And I think that you'll get many allies along the way, won't you? But and that's amazing. I think anything that we can do to kind of raise awareness, we could have like a ketamine panel or something, couldn't we? Get different professionals in and get them on and get them talking about it.
That'd be amazing.
Raising awareness. But I'm sure your conversation today has really helped people as well to go, well, actually, I'm in this situation now and I can follow some of that advice. And sometimes you just got to keep going. Education's the key, isn't it? Whether it's a small bit of education for a family member or somebody just, raising their aspirations and thinking, well, if I get off of this, I can perhaps do this. And I think your story will be inspirational in that sense.
Yeah, and one thing I'd say is the hardest thing you'll ever do is admitting that you need help.
Yeah.
And really, is that a hard thing to do?
No, I don't think it is it?
It's 3 words, I need help.
Yeah.
But it's once you've overcome that first step and you're looking at it, it changes your life.
Yeah.
It's just understanding that you do need that help and asking for it, but it'll change your life.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the
Thank you for
podcast
having me.
and for sharing your story and being so open and honest about your background and about where you came from and your experiences and what happened to you. And I'm sure loads of people will get a lot from this.
Thank you.
You're welcome to come on any time and talk about, your work and what you're doing and what you want to do next. But yeah, just thanks very much. And,
Thank you.
hopefully our viewers will really enjoy it. The content's difficult, isn't it? And it's challenging, but there's a big story there and a big story of success. So, well done. And
thank you.
I'm sure, we can, I can connect you to other people in my area. It's similar, isn't it, in this kind of work? You try and connect people, don't you? And, it's just about raising that awareness and making people even, just not stopping that fight, because the impact on young people is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. Yeah.
So yeah, big thank you. And
thank you so much.
You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. And if you liked the podcast, please like, subscribe, and share. Share with people that you think might be in a similar situation, that might get some some kind of comfort and some support from this. What we'll do is we'll put some resources as well on the end of the podcast. You can catch the podcast on YouTube and Spotify as well, and there'll be things on there as well that can support you, some links and some advice. And like Jemma says, just reach out for some help. But we'll see you next time, and thanks for joining us. Goodbye.